Welcome back, everybody, for another October Country Comics podcast. This is Devon.
Will.
That's some damn fine coffee.
Yum.
Damn fine.
Apparently a very, very poor rendition of Dale Cooper.
I couldn't think of anything.
Couldn't think of anything? Nothing?
No.
Next, you're going to tell people you want us to eat your cherry pie.
Oh. Now I have the song stuck in my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it Def Leppard?
No. I don't remember
What
who
song?
sings it. She's my cherry pie. It's Warrant.
She's my cherry pie.
Cool drink of water, such a sweet surprise. That was like the cleanest version of that lyric I could sing. Sweet cherry pie.
It sounds awfully similar to Pour Some Sugar on Me, but okay.
No, it's
Pour
Warrant.
some
No, I'm just-
sugar on me.
Very similar
Ooh,
song,
in the name
though.
of love.
Pour some sugar on me.
Come on, fire me up. I'm hot, sticky, sweet. No one else wants to
No,
just.
From
no,
a
we
hip
don't.
to
We're
my-
not.
Will does.
Anyway. So, yeah, that happened.
You're welcome.
We're no longer talking to you about coffee or cherry pie or anything that has to do with that. We're already going to have to listen to you next week about this 90210 nonsense.
Well, you're the one that said it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
starting
next
to-
week I get to give a 902 for all those, I get to give a
Yep.
90210 recap.
Yep.
Yeah, you get to
Yep.
tell us what's been going on with Brenda.
She's the only one I care about.
And
Luke Perry's dead. And Jenny Garth just looks amazing.
Can I point something out, by the way?
What?
I was really disappointed when I saw that. Recently having seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was
Yes.
super disappointed that. Now I don't remember. I don't know when the actor actually died, but he had Luke Perry in this movie, and I was like,
yeah.
"How did you
I
not?"
didn't realize Luke Perry was in that movie.
Yeah, Luke Perry's in it for like a bit part.
Who's he
but
play? James Dean?
that's who I thought he was gonna play.
Yeah.
I was like, Luke Perry looked like James Dean.
Yeah.
Like.
All
the
you needed was the red leather jacket and call it a day.
Yeah. I was like, now granted, the movie takes place in like 1969. I think James Dean died before that, right? He died in did he die in the 50s?
Don't know.
When was Rebel Without a Cause?
I think that was his last movie.
That was his last movie.
How'd he die?
Motorcycle accident.
Was it motorcycle or car?
Thought it was motorcycle.
I thought it was car, because doesn't it...
1955, he bit it.
Yep.
Yeah, that would explain why.
Car accident, you were right.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
And his last movie was Giant with Elizabeth Taylor.
he crashed the car, the little bastard. That was
Sorry, it came out in 1956, but it was already done.
Yeah. Yeah, his car's name was Little Bastard.
Nice.
And that car, supposedly the car is cursed. That's why James Dean died.
I knew
Oh.
That's the rumor anyway. But still, you could have had a little movie poster with Luke Perry as James Dean. Like
it.
that would.
I would have actually gone to see it then.
Oh.
But it was just I was waiting for it, and I was like, missed opportunity.
Yes, not.
But yeah, no, what else have you guys been up to?
I also saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I had a good time. It was a nice time. It was a long time, but it was a nice time. I think that's pretty much everyone's thought on the movie. It's a shared opinion by everyone that goes to see it. It's not
Nice
a bad
time,
film.
long time.
It's a long time, but it was a nice time. I think it was money well spent. Saw it in town in the theater across the street from the comic book store, so that was fun.
Yeah.
You
know it's interesting. I was telling you earlier how I have had the feeling I had from the movie. Again, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely it's a good, well done film. The acting's great. The writing's good. I didn't feel like a Quentin Tarantino film to me.
Mm-hmm. Annalisa went to the bathroom, came back. It was still the same scene. That's just to give you an idea of how long that movie was.
I feel but I was telling you how I kind of felt like it really didn't feel like a Quentin Tarantino film. Honestly, the most Quentin Tarantino film I've seen the last year or two is Bad Times at the El Royale.
That was a good
the fact
movie.
that wasn't
him, right?
No,
Nope.
the
Yeah, it
fact
felt
that
like him.
wasn't him is astounding to me because that felt like a Quentin Tarantino
Maybe it was
film.
secretly him.
Yeah. What? No, but that's the thing. Like
I fell asleep during that movie. I was
What?
just tired.
Oh.
It was good. I woke up like some nonsense happened, and I'm like, wait, let me wake up and watch this now. It was my in-flight movie, and I had like no sleep the night before, so.
So you haven't even seen the whole movie all the way through?
Nah, I fell asleep. I fell asleep during John Hamm finding all like the secret rooms. The last thing I remember was the singer and what's his face having a drink. And I
Oh.
woke up to Sexy Chris Hemsworth, which is literally how I want to wake up every day of my life.
It's a good film.
No, I liked it.
so
I was
awesome.
so exhausted.
So good. That movie was
And
great.
it actually proved to me that Dakota Johnson can act.
Which
Yeah.
one?
'Cause I actually
Johnson?
really
She was
liked
the
her.
older sister.
Oh, the
Yeah,
one that shoots John Hamm
Spoilers, sure,
Does
yeah.
it matter?
for like.
It's like a year and some change
Yeah,
old.
it's
Hasn't been
come
a
on,
year.
man.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a
hasn't.
while.
Yes, it
It has
has.
not been a year.
Okay, well.
It's got to be around a year.
It came
gotta be
out
close.
what?
Definitely came out last year.
Yeah, you wanted me to go see it with you, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to see this movie.
It's a regretful decision, though.
Nah, I
I'd
don't
say
know if
so.
I really need to see it in theaters.
I did. I had a good time. We
Yeah.
went to go see it in theaters. It was a good
So,
time.
It was
yeah.
definitely a really good. It was definitely worth
Quentin
seeing. In the theater.
Tarantino, not really Quentin Tarantino, pretending to be Quentin Tarantino, being meta about not being, pretending to be Quentin Tarantino.
I don't know. Listen, like I said, it was a good movie. It was just it felt off compared to his other movies.
Okay,
Well, we all can't have hits.
it's fair. Definitely
but he's
wasn't
had
the
a
best Quentin Tarantino movie I've seen. That's pretty much what everybody.
But like
thinks.
he's had a solid run. I mean, this is his 9th movie, and like
Yep.
the
A lot
other
of people
8
are saying that Star Trek is the last.
could be. It's very possible.
I imagine that Patrick Stewart may not be appearing in it now that he's getting his own show. It'd be weird if he did.
I don't know. He could.
It still could be a separate thing. I don't know.
Maybe he's going to
know.
be the one that's going to give you, like, where your Deep Space Nine characters are.
Mm.
Could you imagine
That could be a
Deep
thing.
Space
Oh,
Nine
there was
Quentin
actually
Tarantino movie?
there was actually a Deep Space Nine documentary that just came out actually recently, like a couple months ago, and in it, the guy making the documentary gets all the Deep Space Nine, like writers together, and they write a season 8, episode 1, like what it would be like. And it's basically kind of like what they're doing with Picard, where it's like 20 years later, where's the crew now? And they kill off Nog in that episode, and the
Which
actor
one's Nog?
playing Nog, the little Ferengi that joined Starfleet.
Oh,
Quark's nephew.
Yes.
Yeah, and the actor found that out, and he was not that happy about it.
Aww.
But yeah, you get a glimpse of Cisco. You get everybody being called back to the station. Apparently, the actress or the actor that played Jadzia Dax was really mad that she died off. In the trailer, they show her crying that she was killed off. She was like, "I didn't want to die. I didn't want them to kill me off." Because it was like
In what? In the Picard trailer?
she in DS9
Yeah.
at the end of season 6 she gets killed off.
Yeah, do you know why?
Yeah, there was a mishap in contract negotiation.
No, she wanted more money.
But yeah, that's what it is.
Because her and Worf were making the show.
Yeah, contract negotiations were breaking down, and she just decided to leave. So they decided to kill her off. So
Hey,
and she got sad that she got killed off apparently.
Well, don't mess with the X-Men.
Don't mess with the
Don't mess with
X-Men.
it, No. But no, you know what? You don't get the right to sit there and complain because you didn't get your way.
They were going on their final season anyway. I
Yeah,
don't
because
even know.
I
why
was
it
gonna say Dax only lasts like a season afterward. It's like a season or two. She doesn't last long. The little one.
Doesn't
The little one. Oh, it's just the final season.
Is it
she
just
gets
the
killed
final
off.
season?
Yep, she gets killed off at the very tail end of season 6, and then
Yeah,
they
then
bring
she
in
comes
they
back
bring
as
in the
Jet-
new one
yeah,
in
as
season
Dax.
7, and that's the final season. She
Oh,
just
I didn't
plays
realize
out
that.
as
I thought she had 2 seasons under her belt.
Esri. She was only on for the last season,
Yeah.
but she's in obviously season episode 8.
It
'cause
was
there's no way you
awkward
can bring it.
watching her with Worf.
Especially that episode where they bang to get all
Yeah.
their sexual frustration out, and then she ends up getting with the doctor.
No, it was just weird because the girl looks like she's all of 12.
That too, yeah.
like
she's
that
a very
that
small
actress.
human being.
I know you've never.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chick is literally like
She's
12 years old. She
a
looks like
petite
she's
lady.
12.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got like big hulking Worf, and it's uncomfortable.
But this is something I think I brought up to you after I saw it. It takes place in the tail end of the 60s. At this point, I think Star Trek has either been just gotten canceled or is like still like on the ropes. Well, it's in the summer of 69, so I think it's
Back in the
done
summer
because it
of
ended in season
69.
it ended in 69 and I think by this point it was over. But I'm kind of shocked with Quentin
Tarantino.
Yeah, with Tarantino's big interest in making a Star Trek film that there were no nods in this timepiece where Star Trek existed for the first time. Like you could have done like Leonardo DiCaprio, like you see some of his cameos on the other shows, like he could have been a guest star on one of the episodes because they implant him in other shows that existed at the time.
Well,
which
yeah,
I thought
but
was interesting.
It could also be a rights issue.
That too. That could be. I don't know who produced this.
Well, it's
Which company?
Star Trek is owned by Paramount CBS.
Yeah, I know
And
that.
I don't think that they weren't involved with this movie, and they're very guarded about everything Star Trek. Like, unless it's a Star.
Especially after Axanar. Oh, jeez.
After what?
Axanar. It's a fan film. It's notorious now for ruining all Star Trek fan films because they made money. They made a Kickstarter and it raised over like $6, $7, maybe $8 million. They had to go to court because they were paying everyone. They paid like high-profile actors, some who had already been involved in Star Trek before, to be in this big budget Star Trek fan film that they were just paying everyone. They were making profit, which is the one thing you're not allowed to do. So now Paramount released all this new shit where it can't be longer than 15 minutes. You can't use an actor affiliated with Star Trek already. Just a bunch of BS rules that it was ridiculous.
Well, that's kind of like the rules that Funimation has for you've seen Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what it is, yeah.
Their rule is that you can't, like, they allow it to happen because they cut up the episodes so much you don't really get like an actual episode, so it's not illegal.
Plus they're so popular now. I mean,
well, it's
Jesus.
basically a clip show, so they don't really get in trouble because they're not streaming an actual episode or anything
Yeah.
like that. But their other thing is that you can't have voice actors who have worked on Dragon Ball Z at all. Like, it's not allowed, except for the fact that, like, because it's voice acting, like, whatever, and especially most of these talented voice actors, they put it under a pseudonym, and like there's actors from Dragon Ball Z that show up on Dragon Ball Z abridged,
Yeah.
like big name guys who are kind of like, that wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
You can't prove that.
That's funny.
And like it's like the like couple of the main guys, like the guy that's like voicing Frieza right now
Mhm.
in the actual show. He actually started out on Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Oh, nice.
Like, it was actually funny. They actually got him from abridged to voice the character now because I think the other voice actor like wouldn't do it or something happened.
Doesn't
but,
that guy voice Vegeta? Or oh no, you said Frieza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I thought that was really weird. Well, it's mostly because they also, a lot of the Star Trek actors like Tuvok and the Doctor from Voyager have been involved in a lot of the projects. Chekhov, Walter Koenig, has been involved in a lot of the projects. They recently made a pitch pilot called Star Trek Renegades, which stars Tuvok, the Doctor, and Chekhov. Nichelle Nichols was in one of them with Walter Koenig and the guy who played the captain of the Enterprise B in Generations. Like it's been like the actors are really big into being involved in these fan films. Marina Sirtis does a lot of the voice work for the computers in these things, but like Paramount put it out because Axanar like abused the hell out of rules and broke a lot of them and just kind of ruined it for anybody. So that's why they're super like they had to cancel Star Trek Continues, an amazing fan series that nobody was made. It starred Vic Mignogna and Todd Harborcorn and the one guy from Mythbusters. Like, they had some big name guys involved in it, but they had to shut down. But since they had a good relationship with Paramount, Paramount let them finish, so they let them put out all the episodes they had already completed and make one final two-parter that like ended the show, so that it like ended. It's not a canon ending, obviously, but like they were able to end their version of the 5-year mission.
Yeah. Hey, what's your feelings on this new Star Trek animated show? What's it
Lower Decks. Lower
Lower
Decks.
Decks.
I know the general gist of it. I don't know if there was any footage released.
I just saw some like it had a very like parody looking art style.
Well,
Like,
it's supposed to be a comedy, yeah.
But it's
The guy from The Boys is in it. The guy that plays Hugh, he plays one of the main characters. He's voicing one of the
okay.
main characters.
Well, it was gonna say because but they said it's canon, like it's a comedy, but it's actually canon. The new animated show.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So I
Yeah.
find that funny that they're taking they're gonna take a comedy parody show and make it canon in
If
the
it's
actual universe.
good, that's all you can hope for. If it's good. I wonder if it's going to be in kind of the style of the Orville, where it's not just a comedy, but it actually works as a sci-fi show in and of itself.
Yeah.
It just has comedy bits worked into it. That I feel like would be that the Orville's great and it works as a show. So I feel like that formula works. I just hope they don't overplay it as like everyone's an idiot except for the main character. Like it's just like a SpongeBob Star Trek show. Like that sounds dumb.
I hope they're swearing.
They probably it's on the
I
going
know.
on the streaming service, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably,
that's
yeah.
When
why
you're
I-
on a streaming service, you can say anything
That's
you
why
want.
I want there to be so many like F-bombs. It's not. I would just want one
Yeah.
character to be like F you.
I also heard like that was the thing. Like they made a big deal about like in Discovery that they dropped an F-bomb, and like I heard like someone was saying like it felt like really forced. Like
Yeah,
you didn't-
because you don't see that in Star Trek.
yeah, because they're like you didn't really need to do it. Like
Because
It's
Star
just-
Trek isn't really a thing that they say. Like they drop some curse words here and there, but it all kind of fit. Like they say like damn, and Kirk says dumbass in Star Trek 4, but they're in the 80s and someone calls them that. Like they work it into the plot. Like somebody flips them off, and like it like it works. But it's weird for in the future people are still spouting out like we're supposed to be like this evolutionized. Like, because that's my big fear with, like, Star Trek now, is they're going to be like, we're just like we are now in the 23rd century. No, that's, like, the point of Star Trek. We're better now, and we're helping other people who are not human kind of through their problems because we already got through it. That's, like, the point. Is like we already got through this and we're helping
like,
other
I mean,
people
here's the
out.
thing, like it's fine if you want the characters to curse. Like I don't really care about that. Like you don't need to say like you've evolved past cursing at one another. Like you can still get upset.
Well, yeah, they do
but,
it.
But like what I'm saying is like it just seems like everything like that I've heard about the scene where they like finally drop an F-bomb in Star Trek. It's kind of like
It'd be
why?
weird for Picard to just drop an F-bomb. Like, it'd be weird.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard him say damn and stuff like that, like, in character, but, like, it'd just be weird. It'd just be weird.
And
Because
first
they've
off, like,
never allowed it before.
And honestly, like it's one of those things where I kind of look at it and go, okay, if we're gonna do it, at least have him curse like in British. Like just have him like just start like random.
Bloody hell, like that?
No, like
Tallywhacker.
no, like because like there's like in English like there's like the curse words that are like they're like the cover up curse words.
Okay.
Like
You lint
bullocks
liquor?
and like
Bollocks.
lint liquor,
Mhm.
or wanker, like stuff like that.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, like I think like that would be like a more appropriate way to see Picard curse at people.
Yeah.
Like if he just goes off and just starts going to this like whole like Cockney like tirade.
Or French, because he's supposed to be French.
Yeah, which
I
is
never
The
also
most
understood
British
that.
Frenchman in the galaxy.
yeah, like that was the thing. Like he has a French name, but he is 100% British.
Yeah.
Like there's no hiding that. It's like Sean Connery. Okay, Sean, like as our coworker Kyle likes to point out, Sean Connery plays all these different roles. He plays a Russian submarine captain who's British. He plays
Yeah.
a Spaniard who's British.
Oh, he doesn't change up the accent?
No.
No, he's never changed.
That's weird
He
and
just sounds
kinda
like Sean
dumb.
Connery. He's
That's-
literally just Sean Connery.
Nice.
You
Well,
know, like some kind of spin, man, like something. But yeah, no.
but anyway, we've spun pretty much into this topic.
Well, I just find it fun. It's just such a weird thing. Like we were talking about Quentin Tarantino, and it's a strange world we live in when Quentin Tarantino spins into a Star Trek conversation.
I mean,
That's
it's
these
been
are-
that way for a couple of years. He's wanted to make this for a while, hasn't he?
This is some dark times we live in.
I don't know. I can't wait to see people get vaporized at the end of Quentin Tarantino's, because like they have phasers in that movie. They can incinerate each other, and it's gonna be some weird stuff, man. I don't even know if I'd want to see Picard in that, because everyone was complaining that Picard was like a big action shoot first, ask questions later in the movies. Like he's already been that kind of character before.
I just want to find out. Like I want them to. You know what they should do? It should take place, however far in the future. Samuel L. Jackson should play the adult son of Cisco, and I want him to say, "I want these Klingons off my off my starship."
I want these mother Cardassians off my mother. Nice station, yeah.
That's all I want him to do.
I quit,
That's
I
what
quit
needs to
on both
happen.
of you.
Samuel L. Jackson just has to play the old version of Cisco's son. That's
There
it.
we go.
And there you go. Samuel L. Jackson gets to be a captain in Starfleet, and he gets to just curse people out.
Well, that's the thing. Cisco's kid didn't go into Starfleet. He
Well,
became
he
a
did.
writer.
Now he does.
Not in the season 8 episode.
After he realizes that his writing career tanked because James Patterson is still alive, he's going to
Season 8.
In the first episode of season 8. Well, it's also in the show. They make a huge deal of it. Like he doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps. He wants to do
How
something
many
else.
seasons was DS9?
7. But like during the actual run of the show, he never joined Starfleet. Nog does because you expect Cisco's
Yeah, but
son.
Season 8's not canon. The first episode of Season 8's not
No.
canon, right?
wait. What
No,
do you
no, no,
mean
no.
it's
But
not
I'm talking
canon?
about during the canon run of the show.
Yeah, but he could
Wait.
join Starfleet later. That's why I'm saying, like, he'll just be old.
But it wouldn't make sense for his character. Like he would just like it wouldn't. Like
It
he made a
does when
whole huge stink. The entire show was like, I don't want to be in Starfleet. I want to be a writer.
Yeah, but now his dad left and became Space God.
yeah, but
Sometimes
that
you
wouldn't
just gotta
wanna-
leave to be space god.
Sometimes you gotta just be space Jesus. What are you gonna
But
say?
I'm saying is, like,
Oh,
maybe...
in the station in the season 8 episode, they show you some concept art from their version of the season 8 episode, and there's statues of Cisco everywhere
That's
in the
beautiful.
Starfleet uniform because he's the prophet or whatever,
He's Jesus.
and because he's space Jesus. There's just statues of him everywhere, like holding one of the little orbs that the prophets send out. And he's just in a Starfleet uniform, and the statues are just all over the station. And Cisco, Jake, that's his son's name, comes out of the station, and he's just like, "Oh, well, didn't want to be here. This sucks. There's just statues of my dad everywhere."
Those were
Sick.
actually my favorite uniforms.
Which ones at the beginning or towards the end of the show?
Towards the end.
The gray ones that they use in like First Contact and all that.
Yeah,
They're pretty good.
those were my favorite ones.
I liked them. Like of all the Starfleet uniforms, do you like the new ones coming up?
I don't.
They're kind of reminiscent of like the Voyager and early
I actually liked
DS9.
Voyagers too.
Yeah, they were like also early DS9, and then they tried mixing them in generations. Like they didn't have enough to give the whole cast the new uniforms. Oh, if I learned this actually, Avery Brooks's actual costume they had to give to Jonathan Frakes. So since Jonathan Frakes is bigger than Avery Brooks, the guy who plays Captain Sisko, so Will Riker's costume is way too small for him, and you can tell because the sleeves go like down his forearm. It's so funny. Like if you look at, I don't ever want to watch that movie again, but like I'll look at clips and it's just him, and he's like walking around, and the uniform's so tight on him. It's so funny to look at. Like they couldn't afford to make new ones, so like they would just.
So why didn't he just wear his uniform?
Because they wanted to indoctrinate the new uniforms, because that's what was happening on TV, was all the DS9 uniforms. So they would take some of the DS9 uniforms and give them. But that's the thing. Most of them weren't wearing it. Like, Picard still has his regular uniform, and so does, like, Worf and Geordi. But, like, Riker has a new one. Data has a new one. I think Troy gets a new one. Like, it doesn't make sense. Half of them are wearing different uniforms.
Well, yeah, Troy does get the new one. She wears them in
Yeah.
Voyager.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, in Generations, it doesn't make sense because they're all wearing different uniforms. Like, it doesn't... Like, they didn't have enough in the budget to give everyone a new uniform, which I thought was weird.
Well,
And it wasn't even like they were new uniforms. They just took the DS9 cast's uniforms and gave them to the Next Gen cast. It was just, ugh.
so,
Movie's a disaster.
What else is going on?
Let's get into the books. We've almost got a half hour. We're almost a half hour
I'm
in.
getting a half hour 90210 thing. You might as well have a half hour Star Trek thing.
It's fine.
Nice.
You know, it's okay. We're doing good.
I could go an entire podcast about Star Trek. You don't even know, man.
Yes, we do.
I was gonna say I've hung out with you for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised
It's
that
my
there's even room
passion.
for other sci-fi in your life besides Star Trek.
Indeed.
And by other sci-fi, I mean the only other thing you watch is Firefly. But
I thought you didn't finish Firefly.
No.
Did you
Oh,
ever
excuse
think
me.
with them,
Yes,
like,
I did
not
finish
finishing
Firefly.
Things when you already know how they end.
No, that was Annalisa.
No, I thought isn't that like why you don't like go back and read really good comics?
he doesn't like prequels because he already knows
That's
what's going to happen.
prequels.
But he likes Discovery. So we're not going to get into this again. We're not going to get into this again.
I like Enterprise too.
Enterprise was awful.
Enterprise was good.
You can leave.
Bye.
Just saying.
Bye.
It's probably the second best series since the original.
Okay. You're entitled to your opinion. You're wrong, but
I wouldn't go that far, but what have we got on the new comic books of
New
this
comic
week?
books this week. First up, for all you Venom and Carnage and Spider-Man fans out there, Absolute Carnage #1 comes out this week. What was that?
They've all got the weird tongues.
Carnage doesn't have a weird.
Carnage doesn't have a weird tongue.
I feel like he has a weird.
No, he does.
doesn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
yeah. The Spider-Man person isn't sure if Carnage has a weird tongue.
I feel like remembering that all the symbiotes kind of have like a weird tongue.
Mostly just Venom.
You telling me Carnage is rocking like a human tongue in that giant gaping mouth?
He doesn't have a weird tongue.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just uses his life. His life is a tongue.
Nice.
I
He
don't
does
know.
look kind of like a gross infected tongue. He's got that weird tint.
I mean, also this new incarnation of Carnage is terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
that weird monster of the week Carnage is just like horror fueled nightmares.
Oh yeah, no, Absolute Carnage is gonna be bonkers. I mean, it's written by Donny Cates, so our boy Donny Cates, who is basically just
A gold star.
steamrolling through the Marvel universe with everything he's got.
Meow.
Him and Ryan Stegman on art. It's gonna be really, it's crazy. Basically, what's going on is Carnage is going after everybody and anybody who's ever had or been in contact with a symbiote.
It's an interesting premise.
Yeah. No one is safe. Which,
No one is
given the
safe.
fact that there's been
Hide your kids,
outbreaks,
hide your wife.
since there's been outbreaks of symbiote infestation in New York, especially, I don't know that there's anyone who hasn't been in contact with a symbiote. Pretty sure that's not a thing. Pretty sure everyone's had one, or at least been
Yeah.
infected by one.
Especially if you're going into the Venomized universe.
Yeah, the Venomized stuff.
Imagine if he just goes in there and he's like, I'm in heaven. He just starts eating them all. Ugh.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know what he's gonna do with all the symbiotes.
We will see.
He's gonna
Come
he's
to
gonna
the
be
store,
doing-
pick it up today.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm really curious how this one sells out compared to House and Powers. because this is going to be now Marvel's third week of selling out a book.
Yeah, I mean, if it's as big as everyone's expecting it to be.
I'm very interested to see, like, when we come in on Wednesday, if there's, like, a line of people.
So, yeah, no, this week, so that's one of the big books coming out this week.
I think we're going to be sold out by 2. Get here before 2 o'clock. Gut feeling.
We shall see.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm going with, too.
Uh-huh.
Ew,
Anyway.
that was ugly.
Next up, we've got Agents of Atlas.
The Agents of Atlas.
Spinning out of...
War of the Realms.
Oh, okay. I
I needed to let the rest of that out.
That was a choice?
The rest of that dark energy coming out of that.
From the War of the Realms, they just had all that pent up dark energy.
From the War of the
It's just
Realms.
vile.
Why?
Just very
Just a
dark.
benign person.
I really don't think you're using that word correctly.
It's okay, neither were they.
We're not going to talk about that. That ranks right up there with the guy who yelled at me because I wouldn't give him the Wi-Fi password.
I hope he listened.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing.
Yeah, no, there was...
I'll cut it out,
You're
I'll cut
gonna
it out, I'll
You're
cut it
gonna do
out.
this?
No, it's fine. You can leave it. I don't need you to cut it. I was just saying.
Oh,
that-
okay.
Yeah, no, we had a person come in and, we don't give out the Wi-Fi password to... We don't have, like, a sign up, this is free Wi-Fi. We don't just give out the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, most businesses that do that have a sign that say free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
Otherwise.
and that's the thing, like, we don't do that. A gentleman started yelling at me in the store because I wouldn't let him use the Wi-Fi.
I
Did you
missed
kick
it.
him out?
No, he started yelling at me in front of his wife and kids. His kids were getting stuff. And he started yelling at me because he was spending however much money, and like how dare I not give him his free Wi-Fi. And I was like, first off, it's my Wi-Fi. I pay for it. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but I don't
dude.
What's
just...
wrong with you? Every place has
Yeah.
complimentary
Nah,
Wi-Fi.
bruh.
Yeah, no, I was
Nah,
like,
bro, you don't do that.
you know.
Tell them to
I
go to-
mean, he ended, at the end he gave you money, so who won?
I mean, look,
Who truly
it
won?
was just one of those things. Then
That's
you rank that up there with
weird.
the, Steven's best friends who were
my best friends, you're sitting there telling me that no, the first time we met them, no, I'm too hard. Like, I'm just being a bitch.
They were, oh my god.
And,
Okay, first off,
and
listen.
I called it.
Wait,
we
what
were
happened?
here late the one night.
Okay.
The lights were still on, and we were outside.
Right.
And
I was smoking a
and these
cigarette.
two people came up and they're like, "Oh, are you guys closed?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was like 8:30 or whatever. It was a
Right.
Sunday
On
night.
a Sunday in New Paltz.
Yeah.
We were outside. The lights were
I
still
don't
on.
care.
We're in a plaza that has other businesses that are open.
What else was open?
Reno's and Gadaletto's.
Right.
Restaurant.
It doesn't matter. The
So did
laundromat
they?
was open
so
too.
what ended up happening with your friends?
Oh well, they left and they came back another day, and they just kind of were like, oh yeah, like they were looking for something because I guess they were saying that the father of their grandchild was polluting the kid's mind by letting him watch superhero cartoons and watch superhero movies. And it's just not psychologically good to have that kind of stuff on all the time.
So
they were
why
looking-
were they in a comic book store?
So they're asking for stuff. They're looking for things. We're looking for something that's benign. And they kept using. Have you
Benign?
ever watched like the Property Brothers?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
looking for an eclectic.
yeah, they're people use words they don't know what the meaning is because they just think it makes them sound like they know what they want.
Yeah, I don't know what a benign comic book
Well,
would be.
and then it gets better because, like, Devon's really trying. Like, Devon's legitimately trying. They're not going anywhere. Devon excuses himself because he needs to go get food. And I'm trying now. Archie's, Peanuts, like, any G thing that I can remotely think of. And I hand them Archie, like the newer, not newer, but like the newer.
You didn't hand him
Archies.
Archie versus Predator, did
No,
you?
that wasn't out at this point.
Okay.
I handed them our Blossom 666.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope not.
No, but and I gave them the.
That would have been the kicker. Like there you go. I actually would have like just
I actually
lost
wanted
it.
to give him the gay wedding.
If he gave him the Blossom 666, like you're right, yeah, no,
Just
we're
handed
gonna
him
buy
Vampirella.
this. Yeah. We're gonna buy this. That's superhero stuff. That's way too violent. But this devil worshipping book, this is what we're gonna go.
And
with.
so I gave I'm
That would've been
literally
sick.
I'm literally trying, and they're like, well, this just seems too challenging for them. First of all, it's Archie. Like, what is like each dialogue bubble? 2 sentences? And I said to I kind of lost it, and he wasn't here, and I was like, why don't you want to challenge your grandkids? I was like,
How old were they? Did you get
the one was 5.
Okay.
But I'm like, why don't you want to challenge your grandkids? Get them something that they can learn and work into reading.
Yeah, that would help.
Well, it's like I was like recommending the Bone book. Like Bone is like that's the comic that parents and their kids read together.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like they're like, oh well, we don't really think that that's gonna work. I'm like, why?
Because it's too benign.
Like it wasn't benign enough.
Yeah.
And it was too challenging. And well, the father only likes superheroes. I'm like, I think if you gave him like something that he could read to his kids, he will. Like, I don't. It was just such a weird interaction.
So he's polluting the child's mind, and you want to shut the kid's mind off completely?
Pretty
Like
much.
what? Like that's better? What? All right. Whatever. We've gone too far away from the new books. We gotta.
Agents of Atlas.
Agents of Atlas
is out.
Come.
It's out this week. Issue 1, the benign first issue.
The very benign first issue.
No, it's written by Greg Pak, spinning out of War of the Realms. If you read the series during War of the Realms, it's gonna pick up right where that left off.
Okay.
I hope everyone comes in, checks it out if you're interested. Next up, speaking of Archie, it is the 10th anniversary of the Archie Married Life special.
Whoa.
It was actually split. It was 6 issues. 3 issues was what would happen if he had married Betty, and the other 3 issues was if he had married Veronica.
Which one did he divorce?
He doesn't.
Oh.
It's just their lives together if he married either one of them.
Does he? Who does he get with in the Riverdale show?
The last thing I left off with, it was
Veronica.
Because doesn't the other one get with Jughead?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now they're gonna break up in the show because they broke up in real life.
I didn't know they were even dating in real life.
Yeah, the girl who plays Betty was dating the guy who plays Jughead.
Oh,
That's also part of the reason why they got together in the show. So now that they're broken up, we're gonna have a Supergirl-esque thing that's gonna happen.
Oh, right.
Jughead's all of a sudden not gonna be on the show anymore. And
Yep.
everybody's like, "Where's Jughead?"
Yep. That happened with Mon-El.
What happened
They
to
ended up
Mon-El?
bringing him. They ended up bringing him back.
Yeah, but then they got rid of him again.
I didn't get that
think,
far.
No. I think what ended up happening, they were hoping to do a Legion spinoff, but no one cared enough.
I mean, it's
so.
You only got 3 Legion characters.
Well, you can't do a Legion spinoff when there's an entire generation of comic book readers who don't even know what the Legion is.
Yeah, they haven't done
When was the last
anything
time
with
they
the
even did a
Legion of
Legion
Super.
book?
Yeah,
You know,
Before New
they haven't
52.
pushed the Legion since the cartoon ended or something. Probably right.
Legion. The last thing was Legion Lost, and that was New 52. It only lasted like 14 issues. Didn't even last that long, and no one
Yeah.
liked it. And now we haven't had a Legion of superheroes since then. So
Yep.
you have what? You've got 10. We're going on almost 8 years now without a Legion book.
Without any mention.
It's insane.
They might come up in the Doomsday Clock. Who knows?
Maybe. Well, that's Justice Society.
I know.
No, and Legion pops up.
Does
yeah. Well,
Yes.
'cause they have Saturn Girl. She's locked up.
Oh,
in the-
that's right. I
She's
forgot
locked
she
up
was
in
a
the loony
big.
bin. Yeah.
She was a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't also Lightning Lad in the Looney Bin?
Uh,
Or whatever the kid's name is from the Justice Society. You know, the one with the or Johnny Lightning or
Johnny
something.
Lightning, yeah, but
That'd
he's
be-
old
Yep.
and like decrepit, and
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
got like, I gotta find Alan Scott's Green Lantern thing.
I have to find the lamp.
I have to find the lamp.
But
That's
it's
it.
not like the lamp; it's like a genie lamp. Like, did you get that far in Doomsday Clock?
Not yet.
I'm
So,
sorry.
I'll get there.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I'm
no,
not that
so-
familiar with the off character, really like, D-list Justice Society characters. Like, and D is generous. So
Archie Married Life, 10 years later is happening. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I imagine it's gonna go the same way. There's gonna be 3 issues of him with Betty, 3 issues of him with Veronica. It's 10 years later, so I'm interested to see what happens. It's gonna be pretty fun. It was fun back when they did it. So yeah, I'm interested. Sounds pretty cool. It's first issue comes out this week. It's gonna be fun. Next up, new book by Jeff Lemire coming out from Dark Horse. It's gonna be awesome. It's called Berserker Unbound.
Berserker.
And what we have here is a barbarian sword and sorcery character transported to modern times by an evil sorcerer. And there
Here
you
we
have
go.
it. That's what we got going on.
Here we go.
It's written by Jeff Lemire and drawn by Mike Diodato Jr. So it's gonna be well written and it's gonna look amazing.
Okay.
This is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to just be a hard-hitting time travel story of sword and sorcery.
We have talked a lot about how wonderful Jeff Lemire is.
He is amazing.
So we shall see.
Probably one of the best comic book writers today.
Okay.
Also, if you haven't yet read it, pick up Black Hammer. Dark Horse. If anyone out there from Dark Horse is listening, we sponsor Black Hammer here.
Here we go. They don't sponsor us. We sponsor them.
Sponsor us, and we'll sponsor Black Hammer. Send us some stuff. Send us some swag to hand out to people
Send us
for
some
Black
swag.
Hammer. All you listeners out there, make our voices heard. Let Dark Horse know that we support Black Hammer.
Here we go.
What? What are you giving me that look
I got
for?
nothing.
You got nothing?
Yeah.
You're very quiet today. You're not even really putting much input in. Even during the Star Trek, you were kind of like, meh. What's going on?
It's Star Trek. It's Will's thing.
Yeah, but you're a big Star Trek person.
You've got some input in a Star Trek.
You've always been a
topic.
big Star Trek person.
Not also when it bleeds into Tarantino. I give zero craps about Tarantino.
Why?
I don't overly care for him. I literally had this conversation with you last night.
I don't know what your problem with Tarantino is. You're just un-American.
He's one of the most influential filmmakers of our generation.
What in God's name are
like,
you just?
Are you channeling an old man on his deathbed?
It sounded like when I in the middle of doing the voice, I realized that this was somehow film critic Emperor Palpatine.
Oh my god.
Of our generation.
That's beautiful.
I'm afraid this battle station will be fully operational when your friends arrive.
Something dark side.
Something dark side. Complete.
Ugh.
Your
That's just so moist sounding.
I am
do
the
not like
Senate.
It. Oh god. Ugh,
Oh.
that's nightmares.
Do it.
Ugh.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
He's not in that scene.
I
That's
don't-
him talking to
I was
Obi-Wan.
gonna start. I was literally just gonna.
Did you want me to scream? Well, then you are lost.
I was gonna start going into younglings, but
Yinglings?
Yinglings.
Kill the younglings.
He
Do
killed
it.
a box of Yinglings? Is that what happened?
You're going down a path I can't follow.
You're breaking my heart!
Oh my god, you definitely peaked that.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
It was supposed to be.
Oh, man. That movie.
So what are we doing now?
I don't know. We were talking about Berserker Unbound, and then we
Oh.
Yeah.
spiraled into Star Wars.
But what's next?
Next up, after the Berserker Unbound, written by Jeff Lemire, who also does Black Hammer, we sponsor Black Hammer here, is a book by Image called Coffin Bound.
Coffin bound.
Coffin Bound. Basically, it's a book. It's written by Dan Waters. It's Watters. He's currently writing Lucifer for the Sandman Universe books for DC, which everyone seems to be really enjoying. The book is it's all about cars, guns, and entropy. It's about a character named Izzy Tyburn, who is on the run from an unstoppable killer. And Izzy's mentality is that since the world doesn't want her, she's going to take out as many people as she can on her way through.
Atta girl.
What a lovely thought.
What a lovely
Isn't it,
young
though?
lady.
She's something. She's
She's
yeah.
a thing.
It's happening. It's going to be it's coming out this week. Come check it out. #1. Okay, so next up we got a book called Dark Age.
The Dark Age.
Yeah, Dark Age comes out this week. Dark Age #1. It's written by Don Hanfield. It's set in a world where, where metal has all metal in the world has turned to rust and dust. Because there's no technology or weapons, the humanity has reverted back into a violent feudal system. So that
sounds exactly like the plot of Into the Badlands.
you're into the Badlands.
Except
So-
instead of the metal disintegrating, they just ban guns.
So
That's it.
So what you're telling me is the people of this comic book world cannot listen to our podcast.
No, they can't. No
God,
technology.
that is really a dark age.
Yeah, because everything. Well, what if they made the technology out of like wood, like all the wire and circuitries there, but
Do
it's
you
still
want to
like
edit a
all
podcast
metal,
out of
gone.
wood?
All
it's
metal is
conductive.
gone.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if they
Man.
had a string and then like
Maybe everything's hooked up to potatoes.
Potato.
again, you still need wires for that
Wires made out of
and metal.
plastic.
This is great.
I don't know.
What,
Plastic is non-conductive.
Damn.
What is our next book?
We're talking about Dark Age right
Are
now.
we?
Yes.
I thought you guys were like MacGyvering some like.
No, I'm trying to explain. He's like,
Cup and a
oh
ball
no, like we can
nonsense.
make we can.
I'm trying to be hopeful. All right.
He's
Well,
like,
you
we can
can't be
make
hopeful in
technology.
The
I'm
dark
like,
age, Will.
There's
It's
no.
the Dark Age.
So
Duh.
so everyone out there, if you're next up is a book, it's definitely geared towards all you Paper Girl fans, you Stephen King's It fans, you Stranger Things fans. It's a book called Dead End Kids. The book is about a group of kids in 1999.
Oh, good year.
The kids' names are Ben, Murphy, Tank, and Amanda.
Awesome.
As you do, name your kid that.
Well, I'm sure it's a nickname of sorts. Like,
I hope.
I hope it's not. I hope literally, like after as the mothers in the stirrups, Tank. That's what I'll name her or him.
You said they have bad home lives, right?
yeah, they come from broken homes.
Yeah, so I think the
Okay,
parents
so
are
as
just
she's
on
gi-
drugs.
Fine. So as she's out giving birth in the back alley,
You know what's really cool? A tank. Give me another hit of my meth, Celia.
here you go, baby.
Celia.
I don't know.
Celia?
I like
Yeah.
it. I hope the mother's name is Celia. I'm gonna lose my ever loving gourd.
That'd be pretty.
So the
happy.
premise is when their friend Ben is murdered, Murphy and the others go on a quest to find out who murdered their friend.
That sounds like a good deal.
Did anyone ever see the TV show Drawn Together?
No.
Yes.
You said quest, and like my mind just snapped. I'm on a never-ending quest to rescue my girlfriend, and I don't know why, but it brought me.
Oh, the partner of the
the little gay Link character.
yeah.
I'm on a never-ending quest to save my girlfriend. You know she's been like captive for like 3 seasons now. That was an awesome show.
I remember the one that got like. I remember the one episode that got real dark where the Superman character like he got crippled.
Yeah.
And he had the chair, and he blows in the tube on the chair, like so he can go backwards, and he goes backwards in time in the wheelchair.
It's so funny. It was such an awesome show.
That was when they did the evil overlord was Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so essentially it was like Big Brother, but with cartoons that they didn't have the rights to.
Nice.
Yeah, so that you had a you
Wait,
had this
what was it called?
Drawn together.
So you had like
I-
Superman, Betty Boop, a Disney princess, Josie from Josie and the Pussycats.
I think I know what you're talking
Pikachu
about.
and
No, it wasn't Josie. It was the other character. Because in the original Josie and the Pussycats, Josie wasn't black.
I know I keep forgetting.
It was the black girl from Josie and the Pussycats, which I don't remember what her name is.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the Pussycats.
Right. Wasn't
Uh,
Ariel in that show?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
Disney princess. They couldn't call her Ariel.
Oh.
I think they called Betty Boop Betty though,
But
because
they call her Betty.
because
I
she's a
think.
public domain character.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she's like all fat and gross, literally gross.
Yeah,
I think I've definitely
It's
heard
so
of
funny.
this.
Then you have
I've seen clips
Pikachu.
of this.
yeah, that's right, Pikachu.
It was an awesome show.
Yeah, that show was
That show was hilarious.
that was something. And last up for big releases this week, we have from Marvel, The Future Foundation #1 comes out this week, all about the kids from Fantastic Four.
Who's writing Dan Slott?
No, Whitley or Whiteley,
Oh, okay.
the guy who's writing The Wasp.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
He is a fun writer. He tried to write himself out of a Vampirella hole that he just couldn't do. And it wasn't his fault. That's the one that took over for Paul Cornell.
Oh, okay,
But
gotcha.
his like 3-4 issues were so much friggin' fun I didn't care.
That's the series where they cut her hair short and gave her like gloves and a nightgown, right?
Yeah, they gave her the actual dress and they gave her like the super short haircut.
Yeah, that was weird.
Listen, the Phil Tan covers were beautiful though. Like those covers were awesome.
Just such a weird. Just
But no, I'm
everything.
very happy that this man has found like life, because his stuff is like legit fun.
I think his name's Jeremy
I
Whitley.
think it's Jeremy.
Yeah,
He's a lot of fun. I like him. He's good people.
but yeah, no, that's it for new releases, guys. That's what we got going on. So normally this is the segment where we start going into some really hard hitting news and some journalism and some investigative reporting.
Some facts.
But I called out a lot this week, so we have nothing.
We
to
I
report.
mean, we were gonna send Steve to storm Area 51
With
before
our-
everyone
oh my
else got there because
Jesus.
that's been the big thing in the news lately.
But we forgot it's
Why
not
were
until
we
September.
sending me? Will's far more athletic than I.
Yeah, but they'll never suspect you.
Yeah, I look like a guy
Is it a
who
gay
probably
thing or
go.
a fat thing?
Oh, calm
You don't look
me.
like a guy who'd storm Area 51.
You don't
I
know
mean-
that.
I mean-
Remember, I am Black Widow.
Listen, you don't know who's in charge at the booth at the little
At the little gift shop.
the gate, the stereotypical gate that they have at every army base where the guy
Yeah.
sits in there. It's got the little arm
The
because that's going to
security
stop
thing.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little security booth with the
I'm
arm.
just gonna plow through it and scream
Just-
your
They're
name, Devin.
mowing down.
It's gonna be my.
There have been
Leroy
some
Jenkins.
No, it's no. You're,
Devin!
no,
I don't know
you're
if
literally
it's-
going to be like it's going to be like that scene from Archer. That Cheryl, what's going on? That's right, Cheryl. Just keep screaming your own name.
There's a meme. I don't know if it's real, but it's of they're like these military guys and they're soldiers and they're in a classroom and this dude's doing a PowerPoint presentation and it's on what a meme is. Like it starts out like, what is an internet meme? Because they're taking it seriously. Like they're investing in a bunch of 50 cows. They're like getting ready to just mow people down, and it's hilarious.
I'm just
Because
gonna...
it's over 2 million people now, maybe 3. There's gonna be somebody that shows up. There's no way that no one shows up.
I also feel I'm sorry. I have
Natural
to say,
selection.
this really is one
Yeah.
of those natural selection moments because I'm sorry. I think that if you as an individual are dumb enough to show up randomly at the restricted Area 51, if you literally wind up in a dark hole where no one sees you for 50 years, I think you deserve it. Like, this is just a foolish thing to even attempt to do.
If they're gonna Naruto run there, don't forget that. That is a very important part of the plan.
What?
I saw a
gonna
news
Naruto
channel.
run.
A news
What the
channel.
hell is that?
That's the put your arms behind your back and then you run.
You never watched Naruto?
I watched the first episode.
But
That was boring.
they found the guy who made the Facebook page, and they went to his house, and at the end of like the little segment they make, he shows them what Naruto running is, and he's like, like going from side to side because he like can't stay straight, and it's so funny. And he has like an anime getup on, and he's got like long hair, like he looks like a weeb, like he's just your stereotypical weeb. It's so funny.
Stereotypical what?
Weeb, like weeaboo, like like you've never heard of a weeaboo?
I am old. No.
I didn't know you were that old. Okay, so a weeaboo is like, its textbook definition is like someone who's like so into Japanese culture, like far beyond, like originally anime, but like far beyond anime, that they embrace the Japanese culture more than they do their own, and most of the time identify as Japanese.
So
Now it's just slang for someone who's like really into anime and usually like awkward and gross
first off,
and weird.
The slang for people who are into anime were otakus.
Now they're weeaboos. Or weebs for short.
What friggin' language are you people speaking?
You should at least know what an otaku is.
I don't know what an otaku is.
You're not allowed to watch anime anymore.
I haven't really, so.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Forget anything you have watched.
No.
It's sad.
Oh.
But no, yeah, that's what we gotta do. We're sending Steve to go storm Area 51.
But while we're waiting,
when I get past everything, I'm just gonna and they finally catch me. I'm gonna backhand one of them and scream Jenny. Jenny!
What are we gonna do now? Now that we have the FBI's computer program, us saying Area 51 so many times has triggered the program to lock onto our podcast.
Yeah.
So we know someone in the government's listening.
Dear government,
we know at least that.
Dear government, I literally have no desire. I support you shooting everyone on sight. I don't care.
I'm not going to take a stand.
I'm not going towards you.
I think this is one of the most hilarious things that has ever happened.
You
can tell how so. Like, I know they have to do this, but you can tell that some of the higher ups in the government think that this is actually going to happen, and I think it's hilarious.
I know you don't understand. That's the problem. No, the real problem is actually it's. If you've looked at any of the actual stuff online, though, it started out as an internet meme joke.
It is.
A lot of the people who originally were involved with it they were all making jokes about it. There's actually legit people out there who were really getting ready to storm Area 51.
Well, yeah, now you've got the crazies involved.
Yeah,
there's so many.
Now it's and that's who the U.S. government's no. This is it.
I hope it happens.
This is Darwinism.
We're going to watch it
finest.
September 10th. Tune in. It's going to be the most watched news broadcast since the OJ trial.
Oh my God.
What?
It's going to be the most watched broadcast since the OJ trial.
OJ was innocent.
They're not even going to be able to get there. There was actually someone on
But everybody's going to watch it. There's going to be news trucks and everything. You can't tell me they're not gonna all go down and just watch it.
On Wired.com, the guy did a video explaining this. He goes, you don't get it. Anyone out there who thinks you're gonna go there, meet up with everybody, and go to Area 51.
And Naruto run.
You're not thinking.
But you don't understand. If we Naruto run, we can outrun the bullets.
Isn't
that's the exact quote.
The spirit of the fox.
I don't think.
Can't they just tap into that bullshit?
There was a thing where they left out the Naruto part because they highlighted it and it goes, if we run, they skipped over the word Naruto because I don't think they knew what Naruto meant or what it was. But that's why it's a meme. If you read into it, you're like, oh, this is supposed to be a joke.
I hate people.
But I just think it's one of the best things because all of a sudden I just started seeing all these Area 51 memes.
It's gonna look more like It's gonna look more like World War Z, where you're just gonna have a bunch of you're just gonna have them running, and as every wave in front gets mowed down, another wave is gonna pile over it until it just becomes a tower.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
We're gonna see.
It's gonna be great.
But what now? What are we gonna do?
I don't know. We can't send Steve anymore. We want to. We really do.
I'm going anyway.
Why?
Screw
you
that.
get to go to Vegas for a couple of days. So you have to take one day to drive out to Area 51 and find out what's out there.
Yeah,
The
you don't
rest
even
of
have
the-
to run with
but
them. You could
yeah.
just interview one of the crazies
Can
that
we
show
just
up.
Say I did because I really don't want to be collateral damage.
Like, do you think you're gonna meet the Chitauri Empire out there?
The what?
The Chitauri from Avengers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's wrong
Yeah.
with you?
There's a deleted scene from Endgame that I saw where they're like, where Rocket's like, you fought the Chitauri? How long did it take you to get them? Like, I don't know, 3 hours? What? They're like the weakest army in the galaxy. What? And he starts laughing, and then Tony takes like a razor and just shaves the back of Rocket's head to shut him up. He just goes, "Meow," with the razor. There's also another deleted scene where they all take a knee after Tony dies.
I saw that because it also confirms like that Gamora's alive.
Of course she was alive.
Yeah.
But like it was also like, kind of glad this wasn't in the movie. This is kind of really corny.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I would not. I wouldn't.
If he
That wouldn't have
died
been
in
as
real
emotional.
Life, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, but they're all like taking a knee. Like Hawkeye starts, and then Black Panther sees it, he goes, and then Captain Marvel's like, "Oh, I guess I'll do it." And then like they all start taking a knee, and then you see Mantis in the background, like, "Oh, what? Oh, okay, all right. I guess we're doing this now."
So since we can't actually call her, since there's no like precedent to call her Captain Marvel, we're just gonna call her Mohawk chick with powers.
What?
They actually never address her as.
They never call her Captain Marvel. So are we just gonna call her Mohawk chick?
I mean, they call her Carol. She goes by Carol a
'Cause
lot.
that's heroic.
I mean, I imagine eventually they will address her as Captain Marvel. I mean, you know, like whatever. She's there. I've accepted it.
Marvel?
She's not that compelling, but like whatever. I hope they make her more interesting in the sequel. That will inevitably happen, or in the Avengers, whichever comes first. The new Avengers lineup that they will
I
eventually
think they should just
decide.
do the nude Avengers.
Nice.
God, can we actually get Fat Chris Hemsworth for that though?
Oh my God.
Like legit.
I have to talk about that. There is a disgusting and utterly disgusting ship going around the internet right now that Tumblr's taken a hold of, and it is Peter and Carol, and it's gross.
Peter and what?
Because Peter's sick, like Spider-Man and Captain Marvel from Endgame. Like, you know, 16-year-old Peter and like 30, maybe 40-something Carol. That's gross. That's ew. And the animations and like
Ray.
they're like sticking like weird like footage from them, like they're not in the same area.
Yeah. I've seen
And
them.
it's oh my God, it's disgusting. Stop it.
I've never.
If any of you are doing that, stop it. If anyone listening is
So
doing that,
everyone
stop it.
also
Yeah, you haven't heard about this, Steve?
No,
Yeah,
This
what
gross
I
ship.
feel like an old
Where
man.
have you been like the
The
last
memes
month?
are also disgusting.
How long
It's like
was I gone?
No, well, so basically what's going on is they're taking like, because you know like from the first scene where they meet, where like, because apparently like I don't know, like every time Brie Larson meets a character, she has to do like this weird
Come
like
and get it look?
this weird come and get it breathy voice thing, and like
hey Peter,
yeah
I heard you got something for me.
Yeah, that was a weird
Yeah.
sentence.
the whole
I liked it, but
So they've taken that whole thing, and they've run with it, where they take different scenes of her from different movies, like where she's like macking it with people, or she's
And then replacing it
and
with
replacing the other scene with
like Peter with
Peter,
Tom
with
Holland shirtless.
yeah, or yeah. So they're
Have you seen the one where she goes like, "I can't wait to have your babies," and he's like, "What?"
yeah.
That's probably that almost made me throw up. That legit like I
There was
almost barfed.
There was
this
one
makes me
where
uncomfortable.
so there's one where
It's a gross
the
ship.
internet is a
yeah,
ugly
it's
place.
straight
pretty
just-
rough. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's a
The internet straight up
strange-
going like, "I'm okay with pedophilia in this case. They're hot."
I mean, to be fair, I mean he's technically speaking like because it is 5 years.
Nope. Nope. He hasn't aged. Nope.
No, he does though, sweetheart.
he isn't.
No, he
He
doesn't.
is 21.
Not biologically. None of them have aged.
Legally, he is 21 though, because technically he had. It's been 5
He
years.
hasn't developed, man. I mean,
I'm also
speaking
just
though,
gonna
I don't
go-
think his voice will ever drop
no, no.
because in real life he's 21
I'm-
and his voice is still like that.
I'm just gonna go out and say this. The next Spider-Man movie, they have to do something. He can't be in high school anymore.
Well, they also drop
When they show him shirtless,
Flash
he looks too old.
in Spider-Man Far From Home. Flash has a drink in his hand on the airplane, and MJ goes, "Excuse me, miss, that guy got blipped out. It's been 5 years. He's not actually 21. He's like 15 or 16 or something." And so she takes the drink away from him. And I was like, so that's, like, they're not biologically 21. They're biologically, like, 15 or 16.
I wonder how long that's going to last for.
Yeah, but what does that even mean? Does that mean the government now has to, like, give everyone a new blip ID? Like,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
I guess.
Okay, that was one of the dumbest things about Endgame. We should have just said, "No, Tony, this is stupid. We're undoing the last 5 years, you selfish bastard." Like,
Well,
no.
it's not only him. It's like the entire planet that has moved on with their lives and
Yeah.
created new
Yeah, but
relationships, and new people have been born. You're erasing them from existence. It's the whole ethics of it. Now you have a whole new group of people that have been born out of these 5 years. You
yeah,
can't
these
just
5
wipe them
years
from
that
existence.
shouldn't have happened. Like,
But they did.
Okay, I mean,
It's not that they shouldn't have happened. It's that they did, and you have to find a way to work around these new people that exist now and these new relationships.
Yeah, but now you're just bringing people into the world that have no place there anymore.
It's not that it's only been 5 years.
Okay, and the guy who gets remarried with a whole new family, what do you do
And
then?
when his wife comes back,
Yeah.
that's a complicated mess. But now new people have been born out of that. Say like he got remarried and
Sorry,
had a
Jack.
kid.
No,
Oops.
dude, straight up, it's 5 years that shouldn't have happened. Like
Nah.
that's
It's ethically, I don't think it's right to erase those people from existence now. Because now it's not that it was 5 years that shouldn't have happened. You can't say what should have and should haven't. Because when you mess with time, it's like that wasn't really how it actually went down. How it went down is how it went down. That was how it was meant to go
maybe
down.
These people were supposed to find their new partner. Isn't that the nonsense
argue
they try to
that.
preach to me?
Yeah,
in
it's
that
a bunch of
movie,
nonsense. Guess what?
the
It was
history
it was
finds
it was
its way.
it was not a natural progression of how things should have happened. If he never did the snap, those people would have never disappeared, and they never would have had to find and forge new lives.
But if he undoes
So-
the
so
snap,
no.
or if he does what you want him to do, undo the last 5 years, then Thanos is still alive, because you've now undone that moment of killing Thanos.
I think it also invalidates the snap and the dramatic
Yeah.
the dramatic ending of Infinity War. It just undoes it and makes Infinity War moot because it leads up to nothing. Endgame completely undoes Infinity War anyway, because everyone just comes back and all of the stakes of Endgame are done now, because bang bang zoom, everybody's back, everything's normal again, no one's dead. You've undone the entire dramatic tension of the last 10 years, because it was all leading up to this, and it's undone, no consequences.
Oh snap!
From a dramatic standpoint, I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't make any sense.
Listen. It's all a dream. Tony Stark's gonna.
Kevin Feige is laying in a bed. It all ends with Kevin Feige going, "Whoa, that was a weird dream."
No, it's gonna be Tony Stark in a shower, and Kevin Feige is gonna be like handing him a towel, and Tony Stark's gonna be like, "I just had the weirdest dream." It's gonna be straight up Dallas. How do we?
If they could ever get Tony Stark, if they could ever get Robert Downey Jr. back, because right now he's distancing himself from the Marvel universe.
Well, I mean, when you've done something as long as that, yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah, I know.
I was
I'm
gonna
not
make, like,
saying
a-
that's
I
a
was-
bad
I
thing.
was
The
gonna
guy's
make,
made a
like,
hell of a contribution.
really, like, awful, like, joke, but I couldn't think of one. I was like, better not. So I actually censored myself for once. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah,
Aren't we though?
aren't we all?
Yeah.
In our last few minutes, I guess we can just talk about whatever comes to mind. So switching companies to like DC. Have you heard this sweet piece of news
Oh,
as a segue?
the actual good news that got
The good
announced
news
for-
that
yeah.
got released for the Arrow. We haven't talked about the Arrowverse in a very long time. I even, as much as I promised to stay on the Arrowverse shows, I've actually fallen off recently, but I vowed to get back
God, I have to
before
get
the new
caught up.
season stop, or I will attempt to get back onto the Arrowverse
Will,
train
what are we watching next?
and trudge through it. What?
We'll watch it together.
Oh,
Because we were doing that a little bit last year. I
what
was just
like?
slightly ahead of you with like Flash or Supergirl.
Oh, okay. I think I need to finish last. I need to start last season. I missed the entirety of the last season, but I need to know if I watched the season before that. Like I know I watched the season, I just don't know if I finished it.
I know.
But some big news. I don't know if you've
Don't
heard
make me
this.
Watch Legends though. I gave up on that.
No, you don't have to watch Legends. Legends is garbage. There was a video of a guy I was actually watching do a Star Trek thing about Picard, and he was like, "Are they going to do time travel? Because there's already a great TV show that does that. It's called Legends of Tomorrow." And I was like, "All right, you have really bad taste, sir. Got to disagree with you on that one. That's really bad." But Crisis on Infinite Earths, we're going to get some new realities. We're finally, hopefully, we're going to merge all the shows together on one Earth so it makes sense. But we have confirmed news that Kevin Conroy, the most iconic voice of Batman to date, will be.
Hold on, let's just say what it really is. He's the most iconic Batman.
Yeah,
that's true. Yes, the most iconic Batman of all time for the first time ever, be coming on screen to play live action Bruce Wayne, which is, I think, the most insane thing. It's something I've wanted for so long. And I'm actually getting.
I really wish
Batman Beyond.
I think that's the universe he's coming from. It's the Batman Beyond universe, which I'm fine with.
I kind of really just want them to have all the Batmen who are alive, all the Supermen who are alive. I want everyone. I want them all to be there.
They're probably gonna do it. They've had interactions with all of them. Brandon Routh is already a part of the universe. So is the guy from Lois and Clark, the TV show. What was his name? Dean Cain. He's Supergirl's adopted father. You've already got a Superman at that point. I don't think they're ever gonna get whether Henry Cavill is still Superman or not is still up in the air.
Can we please get Helen Slater to be like Superwoman?
Yes.
Like, yeah, that woman looks great.
That, or I want to see the like, and at this point you don't even have to get these people to actually show up. Just CGI in Val Kilmer, George Clooney, and Christian Bale. Like, I don't even need them to show up. Just have their Batman show up in the big the big scene where all the heroes get together.
And you could get Tim. Oh God, who voiced him in the show? Superman. Tim Daly and George Newbern show up for something.
Did you ever see? It was when they were doing the Dark Knight Returns movie, the animated movie.
So good.
Did you see when they were it was Kevin Conroy and Tim Daly. They did a video of them actually acting out the scenes, like fighting each other.
I've seen clips of Tim Daly's web series that he does with his son, and he's done a couple of the episodes where he gets voice actors, like he gets Michael Rosenbaum to come on and do an episode, and they're like acting crazy and pretending to be their characters.
Yeah.
And he gets I think he gets Nathan Fillion on in that too, so that might be an episode. Yeah. There's also another episode where he gets actors who've played Superman before on. He gets Dean Cain, and he gets I think Brandon Routh's in that. He got like 5 of them, I think.
Interesting, especially when it comes to voice actors. Jason O'Mara.
That's the current one that they're using a lot now.
He could totally do Bruce fine, like Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
I've warmed up to him recently. Like, when he first started, I was like, rough. No. I think he's also evolved in the character. Yeah. Like, I go back and while Justice League War is one of my favorite animated movies, like, of DC's pantheon of animated movies.
That's allowed in your store?
What did he say?
Justice League War
is his favorite DC.
One of my favorite. I didn't say it was my favorite. It was one of my favorite.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Let's clap it up. That's what I said.
Let's clap it up. Oh, I love that. Movie. Oh, God.
I hate you both.
There were some corny lines.
You're both terrible. That was just a... Oh, God.
You don't like it?
I hate that movie so much.
I love it.
It is the worst
DC
animated movie of all time.
No. I have to strongly disagree with you. Immensely. I'd take okay, but not worse.
I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, and New Frontier bored me.
New Frontier bored me too. I will give you that. Bored. New Frontier I would put below Justice League War. New Frontier was
bored.
What even happened?
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing. They didn't do anything.
We rented that in the early days of Time Warner on demand.
I will gladly admit I pirated that, and I'm glad I spent no money on that.
Literally.
Because I was like, oof, this was rough. But,
Yeah, Just League New Frontier wasn't one of the better ones.
No.
But I still didn't enjoy
I
Jason
really
O'Mara's
thought you were gonna,
rendition.
like, kill me.
No, I think it was a fine comic. It's just if the Justice League formed in that time period.
Yeah, I didn't like New Frontier. Also, though, it came out like right after Unlimited ended, and it was just such a weird time because I came off of Unlimited like awesome, and then New Frontier, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
I think that's, is
No.
that the one where David
You know what?
plays
I
Batman?
won't.
Yes.
I'll say Throne of Atlantis was pretty crap.
I actually wanted to see that, but I didn't.
War was good. I loved War. Throne of Atlantis, its sequel, nah.
One of my
Wasn't
favorite
vibing.
ones
I
is-
wanted to really enjoy it, but it was like, what even? The dialogue was crappy
what
and the
a-
story was kind of blah.
How many New 52 movies did they do before they finally just ignored it?
It was Throne of Atlantis, Justice League Dark existed in that
Blood.
universe.
No, Dark was after. Dark was
Well, no, they're still in the continuity though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Dark was after. It came out around the same time as Death of Superman,
Came out before Death.
Yeah, it came out before.
but there was.
But Death of Superman still exists in the New 52 timeline.
But it's all getting self-corrected now, because they're just starting to ignore New 52
Listen,
aspects.
Just let it I don't need this universe to cohesively fit. Just let it happen. Let it be cool.
Yeah, because they're
it-
missing some of the characters
Yeah.
now that they don't.
At this
Because
point-
Shazam didn't show up in Death of Superman
See,
or Dark.
Here's my thing though. Have you read that story of Justice League?
Which
The
one?
Justice
Which one?
League War, the actual comic.
Yes.
Okay, the comic is good. I love that story. It's one of the only New 52 stories I really, really enjoy.
I enjoyed it as well.
The animated movie ruined it.
I
Straight
don't
up
think so.
ruined it.
No, I enjoyed it.
There was no need to have Shazam in there
Now
at all.
Nah, it was
You
weird.
could have just had Aquaman.
I don't know why. I don't know why,
Why
they
we
switched him
need-
out. Well,
why-
they wanted to do Throne of Atlantis, and they wanted that to be the introduction of
Why
Aquaman.
we needed to do a several scenes of Hal Jordan just being a complete idiot, like the entire time.
He was an idiot. He was just a douche. Which
Like-
it was ironic because he calls Batman a douche later, but like,
Yeah,
know
no.
what? This
All
is-
the TMZ references.
I-
Let's stab that bastard's eyes. Hal Jordan would never say that.
I chalk
the new
Absolute-
New 52 one would.
No.
No, he wouldn't.
I chalk this up as a learning curve for both creative team and voice actors. Because those voice actors were rough in that movie. Jason
Yeah.
O'Mara was like, I'm going to do the best Kevin Conroy and Christian Bale impersonation I can.
Where are the What were you doing at the docks?
Yeah.
I want answers.
He sounded
Like he's like whisper shouting.
he sounded
It's
like an
not
old
good.
man that couldn't hear or speak.
I want answers.
Like
It's
his
so-
dentures kept sliding.
It's
out.
also like it's very obvious he's like got an accent because he's like trying to do the American
Can I
accent.
also be super inappropriate for 1 minute? A worst case scenario, we'll just
Yeah, I just
edit-
bleep it
edit-
out or something. I
edit-
don't know.
Edits it out.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so you've seen Batman, Son of the Demon, right?
Son of Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
Okay. Then, did you watch Bad Blood?
Yes.
Will, have you seen all of them? Those two?
Not the Batman
Okay.
ones. I think I've
So,
seen Sun.
In Son of Batman, Talia's boobs are out of control.
Yes. Oh, yes, I have seen Son of
artist
Batman.
In that, literally, they enter the room a half hour before she does.
Yeah.
And then, conveniently, in Bad Blood, they're just so much smaller. Like,
Well,
they're
motherhood does
getting
that to you.
better. She didn't nurse anyone.
Mm.
And Damien
It
was,
was
like,
a clone.
Damien was already 8 in the.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I was trying to make it connect.
Oh, I thought you were like legit being serious.
No.
You know,
I wasn't
the
a-
Titan stuff is solid.
The first one is.
Oh,
Teen
oh my
Titans
gosh.
versus-
Like Judas
That got
Contract.
me so excited though.
The Judas Contract thing was just kind
Oh,
of.
I love
Judas Contract. What? Judas Contract was hilarious for the sole purpose of they kept the Deathstroke as a pedophile
Oh.
part of it, and I was
Oh.
so.
And then the worst
I
part
was
is,
beyond.
No.
I was on the floor. I was so
The
happy.
worst part is Christina Ricci totally plays into it too.
Who?
She's the voice actress of Tara.
Yeah. No, they
Christina
play in.
Ricci.
They
Yeah, but,
straight up are like,
she's
"I love
literally
you."
like, this is awkward and uncomfortable. Yep.
Yeah, let's go for it. He's 60. I'm 15. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But no, like that. One of the things that like
I like Jada's contract.
I was a little disappointed in it after
Why?
watching Justice League versus Teen Titans.
was
that
good.
was
I thought
I
Jada's
want
contract
them
was
to
better.
do more with the Teen Titans of that universe.
Though that
I'm
movie-
interested in those characters.
That movie was so good, and I got so excited for when they teased at the end of it that Tara shows up in the end credit scene of Justice League versus Teen Titans. That was awesome, and I was super excited. I couldn't wait for because they were supposed to do Judas Contract like 10 years ago as an animated movie, and they canceled it. Because originally there was going to be like Judas Contract, Batman Hush. There was like a whole bunch of stories they were going to do, and then they canceled them because New 52 happened.
I'm super
They're
worried about Hush.
shoehorning Judas Contract right now into Young Justice,
Okay.
which, by the way,
Is Tara in it?
also hinted out what?
Is Tara in it?
Yeah, her and Brion both Geoforce. They're both they're doing both of their storylines at the same time because they're both a part of the team right now. The Outsiders, as they are calling themselves.
Yeah.
But I also want to dictate. These are slight spoilers for Young Justice. Did either of you care about a certain character that shows up?
Don't care.
Because they're gonna have a time gap between now and next season, obviously, which is also confirmed. There's a scene where they go to Nanda Parbat, and as they're leaving, Talia comes out, and a little boy walks out next to her who. It's Damien, and I was like, oh! And then there's another scene like
Is
when
it
all the
Deathstroke's son?
wives and the children and the husbands of like the superheroes like all come together at a house, and Lois shows up and she's got baby John, and I was like, oh! Like I was freaking out. I was going nuts. But yeah, Judas Contract I thought was like an okay movie.
I enjoyed it.
There was
I
nothing.
Really loved it.
Yeah, I didn't think there was much wrong with it,
You know,
other
I
than
just-
the pedophilia. That was gross and weird, and I don't know why they kept that in.
Because
but
it's
still,
from the story.
Yeah.
I know it's from the story, but it's like the one thing that was like that was the most accurate part of the story that they kept.
Maybe
That's kind
why
of
I
weird.
actually never read Judas Contract.
That's the most
Well,
accurate
no, I mean
part.
the other thing. The other
It's got a
thing
completely different cast of characters. Like it's completely different.
Well,
for the
It's-
most
it-
part, I
it's-
felt that one of the things that kind of like what it was for me was I just felt it was boring.
Oh, I liked it.
Like
I haven't watched it
You
in a
still
while.
have to see the Constantine animated
yes, I do.
because that was fun. The Vixen one was decent. I didn't. Hate
I
it.
liked the Vixen one. I didn't see the John Constantine
The
one.
John Constantine one's really good. I haven't seen the Ray yet.
Those are all part of the CW verse, though.
Yeah, but still, it's an animated.
I
movie.
did see the Ray. The Ray
Is it
was
good?
fun. The Ray was good. Yeah, I like the Ray.
I wanted to
Isn't that
see
the
it.
one that takes place in like an alternate world?
Yeah, World War X or whatever.
Yeah,
That takes place in that
Planet
world.
X.
Don't know why.
Well,
just
that's
does.
where the Ray comes from.
Has he
his
always done
world.
that?
Yes.
Well, it's also like it's him,
But
like
it's not
him
him.
from the other universe, him from the Planet X universe comes
Merging
over,
with our
dies, and then gives
Yeah.
his powers to the one from
Our
the
universe.
regular DC universe or the CW universe. And he's like, "What?" And then he goes to Planet X and he lives there. That's why in the crossover he's like, "I'm actually from your world. I came over here like a while ago, and I'm dating Captain Cold." I don't know, whatever.
No, just let Wentworth Miller be gay. Like that's all the
Yeah.
man wants to do. Like poor Wentworth Miller had such a problem coming out. Let him be gay on screen. That's all he wanted.
Was
And well, are we still
Captain
getting-
Cold was Captain Cold's sexuality confirmed in the Flash? Like the original?
No.
Before he,
No.
bit it. Okay.
No, but
Yes.
Like I don't know if he
if
did he
was
date
confirmed as
anyone?
Gay
No,
or
he was-
straight?
He was straight.
Was he?
Well, did he date anyone though?
He was in a weird not like yes no relationship with White Canary.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was a big part
At
of
the
that
end
show.
before he died, he kissed her. I forgot. Yep.
I
Yep,
thought that
yep,
was a
he was.
flirtation
First
thing
off,
they were doing.
he has
No, they were actually going to go out. Like they talked about it. Yeah, they were
yeah,
going
because
to
remember there was a whole episode where they were about
They
to
were
get
getting into
sucked
each
out the
other.
airlock.
Yeah, and he was like they were getting into each other and shit. Yep, I forgot they were building that whole thing and then they killed him off.
And you know what? I will say this. For whatever you want to say about Legends seasons 2 through whatever they're up to now, that death scene is probably one of the greatest DC death scenes of all time.
Oh, when he sacrifices himself?
Yes.
It's just
when he-
weird that it
I just
was
love the fact-
Captain Cold.
I just love the fact that he just looks at them and he goes, "There's no strings on me," and just blows them all to hell. I was like, that was amazing.
There are no strings on
Are
me.
we also still getting the Deathstroke show?
I believe it's animated, but
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
That's disgusting.
You mean that amazing death? That's the best Deathstroke I've ever seen.
Are you being serious or like?
Yeah, Manu Bennett.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
best.
He was like single-handedly the best part of that Arrow season.
Oh, you mean Arrow season 2?
Yeah.
You mean the best season of Arrow that they ever put out?
He was
Yeah,
so
no,
good.
that was amazing.
You mean Batman?
Yeah, but like it was awesome.
No, he was such a. Oh, when he kills friggin' Moira.
Oh,
Right? Moira, yeah. Oh,
it was so good.
oh, it was so good. He's such a
Excuse me
great
and
guy.
Steven while we're just over here,
Yeah.
over season 2 of Arrow. So good.
Listen,
Such
Arrow
good
had-
television.
No, Arrow had moments in the beginning.
It was
All the
such a
stuff
good
with
show
Helena
back in the
Martinelli
day.
Made me very happy.
Yep, that was good.
The fact we don't have her back bothers me to no end.
She'll probably get an animated show. I mean, they're
Well, they
ending.
keep talking
They're
about
ending.
getting her back, bringing
Yeah,
her
they're
back.
ending Arrow after this season, so something's gonna fit the time slot.
It's only
They're
getting
gonna do
half
something.
season.
17. Yeah, it's only getting 10 episodes.
Oh wow! I
It
didn't know
ends
that.
after the crossover.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do anything with Oliver, or do you think they'll just let him like retire?
He's gonna die.
Well, okay, yeah, you and I aren't.
Oh,
caught up.
I
Well,
hope
we really
not.
need to decide what we're gonna watch first. Like, you need to text me when you look and see what you
Hmm.
have.
I'm probably gonna start with Arrow, just because like,
I liked the last season of Arrow I watched.
okay,
With the
I need to
mobster?
refresh myself. Oh,
I'm
the
not-
I liked
like that guy,
him.
yeah.
He was
I don't know.
cool.
I
What are you
until-
gonna do to me, Oliver? Yeah,
I
that
liked
guy.
him. He was a good villain.
His
oh,
voice
Oliver
kinda-
was in jail. That's the
Yeah.
last thing I left off on.
Okay, yeah, no, I know he went to prison. I remember that, but that was the season opens up with him in prison. I didn't watch
I'm
that.
also hoping that someone removes Felicity's spleen. Like, just
Well,
literally.
she left,
I'm
so
hoping she died.
something happened
I'm
to her.
hoping she's dead.
I pray, dear Lord, they killed her character off gruesomely. Nothing
And I don't
against the
hate her,
actress.
no.
She was just so poorly written
No,
as the show progressed.
Yes, as the show progressed, she was
Well,
brilliant.
She was good in the
I-
first,
I-
but as soon as they made her the direct love interest of Arrow, garbage.
It really was.
Until I get season 2 of my Constantine show, I will never watch another live action DC anything ever again.
Okay, so you'll never get it.
Yeah, you'll never. Yeah.
Well, you settle for
Well, you
a
got a
reboot.
spiritual sequel in the animated show.
No, I didn't, because they don't wrap up anything
No,
from the
they
regular
don't.
show.
They don't even touch on it.
They don't even
No.
talk about it.
Did you
They,
never
they
see the
literally
original?
they end
What, the
show.
live action show?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch the whole thing.
Constantine is so good.
Yeah, I just haven't seen the animated.
Okay,
like sequel.
they end that show on a cliffhanger.
Of course they do.
Okay,
Right. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, the
yeah.
with the angel.
Yeah. Don't
I
he
still
hasn't he
haven't
has don't
seen
ruin it for him.
that
I won't.
because
No, but,
Devon's like pirating thing or whatever you used was weird.
but the thing was is I'm like I'm just so angry because I'm like this you and then they did the anime thing. I'm like, okay, well maybe they'll just continue it in the end. Nope.
Did you actually watch the anime thing yet?
No, I haven't.
It's good. I like it.
But I'm just like, why? And they even have the same guy voice acting him from the live action show.
Well, yeah, they also had the same guy do it in Justice League Dark, so like,
Yes,
he's
and
just
also
doing
the
anything
guy,
with
and he's also the
Constantine.
guy who plays him on Legends.
Well, that because Constantine does take place in that universe now.
Yeah, but they haven't touched upon any of that in that show either. Like
It's
if,
sad,
if they would
yeah.
just give me a wrap up, or at least have him like offhandedly say, "Oh yeah, hey, listen, like guys, I got like some stuff to do. Like I kind of like left my responsibilities. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like something. Like just give me season 2. It's not too late.
Well,
Yeah.
no. When they actually give us season 2, you know, we have to redo Constantine in the typical CBS, or not CBS, I'm sorry.
CW.
CW hero style. So it's going to be Constantine listening to Madame Santana, who's going to have weekly premonitions about something bad happening. And what other magical person can we bring in? Let's bring in Nightmare Nurse.
Well, first off, you
Zatanna.
already have Zed.
Oh, that's right.
You have Zed, so you don't need.
And I said
And-
Madame Zatanna. I meant to say Madame Xanadu.
And first off,
Yeah, but I
we
want
we
Madame
can
Xanadu.
just no. I'm fine. Zed's actually from the comics.
I know, and she like
Isn't
dies,
that
though.
the no? It's Chaz, right? That's the taxi driver.
Yeah. Chaz is he's like the only friend of John's that survives the entire comic book run.
Well, someone's
Well,
gonna
that's
drive
because
him
he
around
can
everywhere.
die and then come back.
No, not in the comic. In the comics, he's just a regular dude. He's just John's friend,
Oh.
and he's the only one who like John.
Also, like, you remember every episode they met someone who was there in Liverpool with the. How many dudes were there
Everyone.
in
there
the
was only-
Liverpool
there was
thing?
only 2 or 3. There's 3. There's the nun. There's the tech guy, and then there was Gary Lester, the guy with the bugs.
Yeah, but I was
The
just like,
3 of them.
how many people were in this little girl's bedroom performing an exorcism?
No, there was
Because Chaz was there too, and Constantine. That's like 5 people already.
Chaz. Did they say Chaz was there?
Yeah, he was there.
There's like I think there was like a total of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And it was, but you see, I remember something. That was back when John, at least in the comics, that was back when John wasn't like, he was like screwing around with magic. He wasn't really like into it.
Mhm.
And he overstepped and he screwed that up. And he
Yeah.
got that girl damned to hell. Like,
Mhm.
that's straight up real. That was like,
Yeah.
and that's why John is like, and that's why that's why most people he runs with doesn't like him.
Yeah.
You're gonna really
But-
enjoy the animated movie.
Hopefully, we will get a season 2 in some form or another comic animated
here's
show.
my thing. They've already said that they're planning on ending, or at least they're going to start doing half seasons for Legends. It's not even going to be a full season show
Because
anymore.
I don't think they can afford it with the rating. The ratings are probably garbage.
Okay.
They make fun of it themselves.
But here's the thing. Like, it's not even going to be a full season show anymore. Supernatural's over, and you're losing Arrow. So you have essentially three slots available. Just please, for the love of God, give me an actual, like, late night Constantine show. Please. Like, that's all I want at this
Why?
point.
well, it's
we're
also
gonna-
like
no,
the
no,
the
we're-
slot it was already in Friday at 10 is not a good slot.
That was a great slot.
Yeah.
They were actually,
Friday nights?
Friday night at 10 p.m. They were actually gaining ratings on that show.
Then why'd they cancel it?
Because
it's
NBC
NBC.
didn't like that because it was too expensive, so they moved it to 8 p.m. on Friday nights when no one's home.
Oh.
At least the thing that was working for them was it was on at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, so you kind of had the people kind of coming in late.
Yeah.
And then there were also the people who all watched Grimm at 9 p.m.
And
And then Constantine was on right after. So it was gaining like ratings. And then when they moved it to 8 p.m., you lost the entire demographic.
Yeah, well,
Well, they also didn't
NBC's
tell us
notorious for
either.
doing things like that.
Friggin' Hannibal.
Bringing it back
Save
full
Hannibal.
circle, they did it with Star Trek.
Save
They also did
Hannibal.
NBC?
Pretty sure, yeah.
No.
No, CBS.
CBS was.
I thought NBC used to have it, though.
No, it was always
No.
CBS. But no, they did
Save
it with
Hannibal.
Community.
Uh,
Yeah.
Community, like every season of Community, you didn't know if that show was gonna make another season or not. Like they like waited like right up until they had to start filming to let them know if they had jobs still.
Hashtag. Save
all right, well,
Yeah, that was rough.
yeah.
And and NBC is the worst. I
Yeah.
hate them. I hate them so much.
Hashtag Save Hannibal.
Animal. Here we go.
Are you is Brian Fuller ever gonna finish that? Like
Good.
no,
He
but
legit got an ending.
no, but he's always been saying that once all the rights revert,
Yeah.
he's gonna finally do it the right way.
He is iffy, and it's not that he's gonna do it the right way. He's gonna just rewrite it to work with what he wants.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
I don't really know. Brian Fuller is another one. Like what a useless showrunner. Like every time he goes to do a show, he has to butt heads with the freaking executives, and he just walks off the show.
Yeah, but they just need to give him what he wants, because there is no TV shows like his on cable. Like that's the problem. Like he if they would just give the man what he wanted, like, you know, I think you would really start seeing a lot of these shows being able to compete with HBO.
Yeah, the problem with Brian Fuller is that he doesn't get. There's no meeting in the middle.
No, well, let the man do what he wants. He's brilliant.
Yeah, except the fact that he's like he tanked like 3 shows because he had bouncing back and forth between was he gonna write episodes, was he not gonna write episodes? Oh, I'm gonna write an episode, and he like left the last second. Like he did that with Star Trek. Like surprisingly enough, like Star Trek Discovery survived him like his nonsense. Same thing with American Gods because he's not part of American Gods anymore either. Like he literally keeps bound, and the thing is that obviously they're not wrong to not deal with him because the shows are doing better than they anticipated them doing.
I didn't think that American Gods got renewed again.
No, it's gonna get renewed.
I don't think it did.
They're just waiting for all that. The thing is with American Gods, they have to wait for everyone to have like free time to do it.
No, Brian Fuller is very good at what he does, and just let him do it.
I mean, I guess if what you do is just do things badly.
Disagreeing on opinions of Brian Fuller, unfortunately.
Well, Devon
That's
won't
where
watch
we're-
the one thing I want him to watch.
Which is
Hannibal.
okay.
Because
I don't like that stuff at all, though. I have no desire to watch it.
you have no soul.
All right.
It's okay. The other show they ran into the ground that was good right up until he decided he was going to randomly leave was Heroes.
I
Between
don't
him and the
have
writer's strike, he just ran that completely into the ground.
I have no use of heroes.
Well, we will see what Brian Fuller takes on next, and if he will tank it or if he will make it blossom into a new show. But let's, yeah.
All right, well, this has been another October Country Comics podcast. This is Devon.
Well,
I got nothing today.
all right. Well,
Yup.
bye, guys.